So, presentation today will cover the drivers of sustainability, legislation, brands and retail, economics. We'll look at controlling costs, industry needs from a partner, what partnerships can deliver, and what should be the strategy as we move forward. Starting off at the top, drivers of sustainability. And most people have been to business lectures as opposed to academic. Everybody will recognise what's driving sustainability: legislation, brands and retailers, God bless them, and economics. Economics is critical. Nobody can stay in business unless they make money. What drives all of this? Water, absolute vital resource. The areas of the greatest manufacture and normally regions of the world with the lowest availability of water. Irrigation accounts for 70% of water, 22% of water is used in industry, and our poor friends of the domestic world, they only take 9% of water. And as the Earth's population increases, water becomes more scarce. There's new legislation for water and energy usage in textile mills. These challenges and changes are also opportunities for modern, sustainable chemical companies. Legislation will force people to make changes and force people to adapt, or they will go out of business. In China, they've commenced this journey proactively, and they are creating world-class industrial zones on a more sustainable basis. Brands and retailers. How many people here have heard of the Sustainable Apparel Coalition? Not so many. Sustainability of retailers started off with people talking about foods. That's where it came from. Everybody's heard of Marks and Spencer Plan A. Plan A because there is no Plan B. It's a very short message. It's a very deep message. And it hits the spot. M&S claim, in the last report I think it said, they've added 113 million to the bottom line through Plan A. Every other major retailer also has similar initiatives which are published. Every website says it. Everybody's heard of Greenpeace, for detox. This is an area we cannot avoid. We have to tackle and work with it. Economic sustainability. This isn't a Huntsman statistic. This is what's been published. Some presentations, Syntac, June 2010. 80% of Chinese mills make less than 5% profit. Moving in this direction, the cost of dyestuffs, $3, $4, $5 a kilo, the answer is not to go ahead and continually cut costs. There's only so far you can go in that. We have to start to tackle the root causes. Environmental legislation will increase costs, at least in the short term. Labour costs will also increase, especially as the government tries to close the wealth gap within these countries. And you also have economic strengths. Increasing the profit will come from two sources: better management of costs and higher value products. Part of this presentation is to show how, by working in partnership with real life mills, you can actually help them to make more money, as well as obviously improving sales. So, moving on to economic sustainability and controlling costs. What costs can be controlled? This is a real challenge. Interestingly, on a t-shirt, the dyes and chemicals which includes is the smallest cost. Utilities have scope for reduction for environmental and excellence, and that's 15 to 20%. And then fibre costs, well, that's non-negotiable, and also is the labour. There has been a cotton crisis. Cotton price has reduced slightly, but it's certainly not at previous levels, and it's emphasised the significance of the fibre costs. The only way chemical companies will continue to survive is not by looking at the products, it's by looking at the customers' needs and helping the customers make more profit. And it's also clear from this kind of chart that just looking at the cost of the products is not enough. You actually have to look at the energy consumption, the water consumption, and the life cycle of textiles, and how you can actually improve it. Still, even under these current circumstances, and it is a plug, but Huntsman still devote between 3 and 5%, depending on the area, of all their turnover into R&D, into tackling issues which we're talking about today. So what can partnership deliver? Obviously, we have to put our own house in order. We have to look at the industrial manufacturing process and minimise the impact on the environment there. PA, product application, that's all about water, it's all about energy, it's all about cost in applying the products and minimising the cost. And the biggest area, the care of a textile, reducing the impact on the environment once you actually get to the final product, hand it over to the consumer. Does the consumer every single week have to put it into the washing machine, then iron it before they rewear it? Can it go straight from the washing basket to be re-ironed and then reworn without causing an odour issue? So, we have 3 key needs which we try to bring to the party. We have to have innovation. There has to be new products tackling the new issues. There's no point having all these innovative products and great R&D teams unless we have real people knowledge. And we need an army of people to service the industry and go out there and help add the value. And then also we have the portfolio products, the right products for the right end articles to meet the new challenges. The new dyes which are coming out, environmentally friendly. You have to look at it and you have to decide whether you can take it forward. What can partnership deliver? This is a real life example. It's not just one I've made up. Quite often we go into companies, we carry out audits and we look at what they're doing at the moment. We offer to work with them for a period of time. We optimise their processes, we optimise the dye and chemical usage, and then we look at the savings. And you can see that water can be reduced just by optimisation from 96 to 66,000 metres cubed, electricity 2.1 to 1.5 million kilowatts, and CO2 from 4 to 8 to 300. By applying state-of-the-art new technologies, you can also make the next quantum leap and bring it down to around about a third of what it was before. Been worn by Derek, not to mention any brand names, so I shall try and follow that. But there are new processes out there which have a distinct advantage. There are new bleaching methods which are out there. These are commercial, they're in use, and you can take 30 to 40 litres of water used per kilogram and bring it down to 20 litres of water. Dyeing of cotton, conventionally, 60 to 80 litres per kilo of cotton. I've seen it over 100, 120. And there's far better cotton dyes in this room than I'll ever be. Best available technology, 30 to 40 litres of water. And there's new generations of dyes out there available which bring it down to between 15 and 20. These products are here today. They do have their issues. You have to implement them, but they're available, and the sustainable advantage to the environment is huge. Saving 50% water, as we said. Reducing the energy usage from 2.2 to 0.7. And these are real facts based on real trials with real customers. This isn't just R&T, and it's actually been out there now for 12 to 18 months. But critical, together with the products, is knowledgeable people. you do need productivity improvements, and you need people capable of going into the mills and delivering these new technologies on site. And when we talk about technical specialists, many years ago I was a wool technical specialist in Yorkshire from a sins, a Lancashire lad. And it's a huge responsibility. You go into mills, British mohair spinners where Ian worked, there can be 500 kilos of mohair in one machine. It's slightly unlevel. Do you dye it black? Do you try and level it? Do you try and pull the colour off and reduce the quality? These people have to really know what they're doing. It's the same with areas all across. And you need to have the technical expertise within the companies to add value to customers. In Europe, there's relatively few people coming through. We saw from the awards today, there's relatively few people being trained in colour application technology. There's plenty of people coming from the design side. In the future, the knowledgeable people will be coming from Asia. We need innovation where it counts. If you actually start to look at a cotton t-shirt, it's dyed reactive dye stuff, it's washed at 60, dried, ironed, product is washed and tumble dried 25 times. So the products in use are absolutely key going forward. We really need, all big chemical companies need to invest where it counts. And this is what I was talking about before. There's a range of effects where you can actually make sure that garments need to be laundered less, active comfort, you need to make cleaning easier, lasting colour. Has anybody looked in the sock drawer? Any men's sock drawer, most of the socks start off relatively black, like this. By the time you get to the end of 6 months and have been through the washing machines every week, most men's socks are starting to look grey and mottled. There is technologies out there to keep them looking black. And we need to reduce the need for tumble drying and ironing. So, we've covered driver sustainability, legislation, brand and retail, economic sustainability, controlling costs, the industry needs from a partner, what true partnership can deliver, what is the strategy going forward. And there's no magic science. There's no magic words. We can talk about working close with textile mills, we can talk about working closer with brands and retailers, but walking the talk is a lot more difficult. Sustainability goes hand in hand with innovation, but this takes time. It takes people going out into the industry, meeting real life customers. It takes time to go to brands and retailers, make sure we're on the same page, make sure the understanding is the same. And there's also a huge responsibility on the person going out there to ensure they get an economic return for the work. I've been involved with several projects with major retailers over the years where we've done huge amounts of work. It's all looking fantastic. And then you get to the point where it's coming to implementation in the marketplace and a new technology might come in from the side and it can be wasted. And then there's a massive loss of credibility. Major chemical companies going forward will not and cannot, as it stands now, put a large amount of work into resourcing projects but do not have a payoff. Yes, we'll fly a few kites,